Welcome to the Sports Resort,
the People's Sports Show. Real talk unfiltered. With your host, Garrett Jonkins.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Sports Resort with D. Junk. Today, I got my daughter, Quinn. I got Grace Kowalski, and I got Ava Kowalski. Welcome, man. Welcome to the Sports Resort. How y'all doing? How is it? Let's hop right into it. How is it playing? How is it college sports? How is it? You go to University of Texas, big school. What's y'all, SEC now?
Yeah, we are SEC.
Y'all have a lot of perks. How is that?
The perks are great. But I mean, the training's doing great for me at least. Like, it was a big adjustment from going from high school. Like, it was really small into college, which is like kind of like a mass training group. But I feel like I adjusted pretty well my first year, and I'm looking forward to next year.
So let me ask you a question. You went to Grand Oaks High School?
Yes.
What is it, Conroe, Grand Oaks?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Was Texas your number one choice?
Yeah, my sister went there. So she's not here with us today, but Sophia Kowalski.
So when you saw her going there, because you're younger, right? You're the younger of the three.
I was a year younger than her. So whenever she was a senior, I was a junior. And she committed to Texas, and she was telling me how much she loved the school, and that made me want to go.
What events do you run?
I run the 800. I've ran on some 4x4s, but they haven't really pushed me up yet. Right. But I think that's the plan.
What's your fastest time so far? Let me see if I can beat you. Queen, you think you can beat her? Let's see. What's your fastest time?
2:09.
Okay. So no pole vaulting for you?
No pole.
You never pole vaulted? Didn't your dad build like a pole vault thing in the backyard?
We tried to teach her to pole vault. That was definitely, yeah.
I pole vaulted one time because I wanted to go to a meet in Reno. It was like Reno, Nevada.
Oh, okay. You were like, I need to go.
Because I wanted to go travel, but that was like the only time I ever really pole vaulted.
Huh, nice though. That's nice. That's pretty cool there. What you majoring in at Texas?
Government.
So tell me one thing you like about running track. Cause going out there running, you gotta be different. Like, who wants to go, hey, we got 10 200s a day. Like, I never forget I ran track in high school. I think our coach made us run like 10 200s one day in practice. I think I was sore for 2 weeks after that. I'm like, dude, this got to be crazy.
For me, I originally wanted to run because it wasn't as hard as pole vaulting, and it felt like an easier route. Because I feel like pole vaulting is way too technical, and it's way too plays mind games with you. And I feel like running, it's kind of just straightforward. Run fast, run at this pace.
Yeah, because pole vault, you got to be a little crazy like your sister. I mean, I used to train her. She was different. I tell a lot of people you was one of the hardest working girls I trained. But you got to be wired like that. You got to be down for just my opinion. You got to be different doing pole vault.
Definitely different. I don't know if I could the bars. Oh. Yeah,
that's crazy. What's up, Ava? Let me say, you're the oldest, right? Yeah. So you're the oldest out of the three. Golly, that's pretty badass. So, I had the opportunity to train you. You was in high school. You had a great career. You ended up going to Colorado Schools of Mine, getting your degree in computer science.
Yes.
Oh shit! Nerd alert. We need to drop. She's smart, Quinn. Drop some nerd alert things down.
Nerd alert!
Hey, damn, boy, that's a hard major right there. Sheesh, that's a lot of school right there. How was college? Because you graduated now. Now you going to the real world. Did you get your master's too?
Yeah, so my master's was in computer science.
And computer science.
So my undergrad was in quantitative biosciences and engineering, and
my
master's was in computer
science. That's smart, right? That's way above my pay grade. I don't even know how to pronounce all them fancy words. Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool. So, you went to Colorado School of Mine, which is a beautiful campus, but it's totally different from Texas where your sister's at, right? It's more of a academic school baseline. Sports are there, but it's kind of like you're doing your sports, but you got to do, the teacher ain't giving you no perk saying, hey, you got, University of Texas, they like, hey, I know it's a football game. Don't worry about this assignment. Y'all go have fun. At Colorado School of Mine, you still got to turn that work in, even though it's a football game. How was that experience?
Honestly, it was a little bit different than a lot of my friends from high school, and especially my sisters, because I feel like we had totally different experiences in the classroom, especially because it felt like when you were getting group projects, kind of the athletes normally, typically, from what I've heard, they'll stick together. But then in my school, if they saw that you had an athletic backpack, they did not want you to be in their group because they're like, we know you're going to be gone half the time and you never get this done. So it felt like we had to do double. We had to kind of show and prove ourselves in not only on the track, but then also in the classroom as well to prove that okay, well, we're athletes, but we're also really smart. And we just
Man, how did you handle that? The the back and forth, right? The academic part and the athletic part at a high academic school. That's tough. A lot of kids, especially athletes, you know, you grow up, you playing sports all the time. Your dad trained you a lot. You know, he groomed you pretty much to be a pole vaulter. He like, dude, you're going to be a pole vaulter regardless. But how did you handle that part once you got to college, right? Now, you know, you don't have mom and dad there. You know, your mom probably was still texting you a lot, but you don't have them there all the time. And you at a high academic school. Was it hard to balance, though?
It was at times because it felt like when Thursdays rolled around, like we'd leave Thursday and we wouldn't get back like Sunday night. So you had to get like all your work done, at least like all the group work done by Thursday morning because then the bus would leave. But then even on away meets, we were like the only team that had like, we would take up like the whole hotel like dining area and we'd have like all our school books out and like we looked like nerds, but nerds who win.
Yeah, and man, and I've been around you for a while. You're the type of person who I can see. I remember you told me you was going, I'm like, oh, you're going to be successful. Just because of how you was wired, you was different. Versus I have some kids I've been around, I'm like, dude, you won't make it there, dude. You don't even like school. Why you even going there, right? Like, so, but I'm glad you went there, you became successful. Now you talking about moving to California now?
Yes, I
am. Get out this hot box in Texas. It's hot here, boy. Whew.
It is a little hot.
San Diego, you still looking there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, man, that San Diego a beautiful place, man. It don't even rain. I think it rained in San Diego twice out the year. And the weather like 75 high, 60 low every day, and beaches all around you. That's pretty cool there. But how was it, being the oldest and you having two sisters, right, under you, kind of seeing your work ethic? What you think was your main why, like, pushing them to be great, because they at University of Texas, which, I mean, less than 1% of athletes going there and play, not even 1%, probably 1 out of a million can go there and run track. What was your why like on that? Did you ever feel like, man, I need to push my sisters? I want them to go big? How was that? Because when I was training you, they was young.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like whenever they would come to practice, it was more of just like, okay, this is going to be a fun practice. And I feel like I am a competitive person naturally, but then when it comes to my sisters, I feel like it was just like I wanted them to be able to do everything that I was doing, if not more. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually, I'm so proud of both of them for like where they're at now, because it's like, oh my God, like our fun little practices have like now grown into this. Like Grace is a beast, Sophie's a beast. Like they're insane. I feel like my teammates were so sick of me talking about them all the time. I'm like, did you see she PR'd again? She PR'd again.
That's cool though, man. When you put the work in, I tell Quinn that when you work hard, good things happen to you, and you want to toot your hand, you want somebody your fan, like I'm a biggest fan, stuff like that. So, hi Quinn, come over here, ask Ava something. Ask her something. Ask them something. What do you want to ask them?
I don't really have a question.
Okay, ask them. You ask Quinn something, because you see her play sports. She does a lot. Boom, come on, Gray. What you got for her?
Are you thinking about playing sports in college?
Maybe. It depends what college I go to, but probably.
What college you want to go to? What's your favorite? Oh, she like Aggies. What's your second school?
Maybe something in Colorado.
Okay. No Purdue? Your mama went to Purdue?
No. It's cold there.
Yeah, it is true that she like A&F for some reason there. Ask Ava a quick question right quick. How hard did she work growing up? Ask her how hard did she work growing up. Ask Ava.
You said it.
No, ask her.
What he said.
That's cool. That's she acting shy. So let me ask you a question on this, Grace. What made you want to run track? What made y'all want to do that?
Me run track?
Come on, let me see if you got any skills.
Okay.
Yeah, what made you want to run track? What made y'all want to do that? Because y'all growing up, y'all girls, right? And you solids.
I'm stripes.
Solids.
Sorry.
You solids right there. So what made y'all want to do track?
I would say, wait, am I?
You the solids. You're gonna be solids. I'm gonna be square. I'm gonna be stripes.
Go that way.
Okay. I would say my dad told us when we were younger. He said you can do track. Mm-hmm. Just pick an event. I don't really care which one. But he said he really wanted us to do track, and honestly,
yeah, he said pretty much you can do like any other sport and track. So as long as you do both of them, you're fine. Yeah. So like track was like the minimum requirement.
Okay, so he was like, y'all not finna sit around the house and be fat. Basically, what he was telling you every day. You're going to at least go running every day.
Well, our brother also pole vaulted, and then our dad pole vaulted too. So he would kind of just take us all to the track. So my dad used to coach like a pole vault club at the Woodlands High School, and so when we were little, he would just take us all on Saturday
So y'all kind of grew up. So you kind of like me and Quinn. Like I take her, you know, when she was little, I used to take her to the gym. Oh, you probably remember she was little.
Yeah.
I used to take her to the gym all the time. Come on, Quinn, you stripes. I used to take her to the gym all the time with me, and she just kind of grew up around it. That's why I gave you the whatchamacallit. I forgot y'all had a brother.
Yeah.
How old is he? I ain't never met him.
32.
Oh, he older. Okay.
He's got two babies now. He's got our niece Penny, who my dad is already training. She's a track meet this Saturday, so.
How old is she?
She's 6.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. So let me ask you a question. What y'all contribute to y'all success, you think? You first. What you contribute to your success? I mean, because, you know, sports, growing up early, going through it, especially being around a dad who was a coach, pushing y'all all the time. I think he build a pole vault pit in y'all backyard?
He's planning on it. He's got big plans to do it, but my mom's been
pushing him off.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, dad, you know, and your dad is kind of quiet. I've met him a few times. Your mom talks a lot. Your dad, I mean, I think I met him when he signed you up with him, and then that's probably the only time I ever heard 2 words from him. And since I seen him at church sometimes, because y'all go to St. Anthony. Not St. Anthony, St. Edwards. But how, you know, what you could, you know, like you went through a cycle, right? You grew up around sports, and then you just kind of went through. What you think kept pushing you all the way through? Because it's a lot.
Our parents kind of cultivated a great environment, especially between me and my sisters. Like, I think my sisters are my best friends in the whole world, so it never really felt like work because I was just hanging out with them all the time. So it was like, wait, we get to go out and do something that we love. Like, this is super fun. And then our dad also, he's like, he researched the crap out of like every single thing we were doing to make sure it was like food wise, like exercises, workout cycles. Like with Grace, he's a pole vault coach, but he researched to death like how to train someone for the 800. And so there Grace went out and obviously he crushed it. So not knowing anything about the 800, he just was like dove into research. And then our mom is super driven. Like she's just a powerhouse in everything that she does. So I think to have like two role models like that, and then also both of them making that environment where like, I just love hanging out with my sisters. So
yeah, that's cool because I got 3 brothers, and that's kind of how we grew up, and we all went to school, college, scholarship. They all played baseball. I took the football route. I should have went baseball, but I just played baseball so much growing up. I was tapped out by high school, 11, 12. But they all played. But we all went to school, scholarships, 4 of us, 4 boys. But we grew up around each other, playing every day, like in the backyard, breaking windows, just neighbors calling the cops on us. Like, these dudes broke our windows. We know we didn't. We in the house. We don't know what they talking about. Hitting baseballs everywhere, playing football. Grandparents shipping us the games. I mean, we sports was our life every day, and it kept us out of trouble. I tell people, sports keep you out of trouble. You know, I mean, if you go to school and school gets out at 3, you don't got nothing to do. Yeah. I mean, shit, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find something to do, and a lot of times it's probably not to be the best thing for you, right? Yeah. But when you're busy, it keeps you in the trouble, and it teaches you, you know, teamwork, hard work, just camaraderie, sense of urgency, sense of discipline, because you got to be disciplined and committed, right? You know, but I think as you grow now, because I know as I look back on me and my brother's journey, you know, we was committed and disciplined, because shit, growing up in the hood, we ain't had nothing, but we stayed on it, you know. So I just think sports is one thing. That's kind of what I you know, do with Quinn. You know, she thinks she's starting to understand it a little bit more now. But I research the crap. I'm like your dad. I research into everything. I'm finding the best coaches for her that's a good fit for her too. Not just coaching, but like a good person. Yeah. And too, what she have fun, right? Because I train her sometimes, but not really a lot. Like she'll work out with me, but I try to keep it fun, and I research the crap. So if it's golf, tennis, soccer, I'm like, because I tell people we live in an era where you can research. You got the information at your hand, so you're crazy if you don't look it up.
Oh my God, ChatGPT and any of those AI models, you could literally just type in what you're looking for and you get like a whole workout plan.
Exactly. And then I ask people, hey, who's blah, blah, blah. I mean, she got a tennis coach now, this guy is here from Mexico for 2 or 3 months, and we did a lesson. I'm like, holy shit, this might be the best tennis coach we never tried before. Like, he was like, I'm only here for 2 months. I'm from Mexico. I'm like, but I got him through a referral, and I asked the guy, I'm like, you sure he good? And I'm like, man, I go up, this dude, tennis lesson was so good. I'm like, holy shit, we might be flying to Mexico when they go back to do some training. It was so good. It's probably one of the best ones she done had. The same thing with golf. You know, her coach is good. Soccer. I mean, just so on. And, you know, she likes to write and act, and she's very talented. But I try to keep her around people like y'all, introduce her to people like y'all so she can see what she can become one day. She's real smart. You know, because I always say you got to kind of see that vision. Yeah. It's kind of hard just walking to a wall and you like don't see nothing, right? You like, dude, I got to see something, right? Like, you know, like even when I train you, that's why I used to train you like around Grace and other athletes. That mostly I think everybody around we was working, I was going to college. People around people that's trying to say, you know what, I want to go to college and play. So that makes you like, oh, know what, shit. She going to LSU, she going blah, blah, blah. She going to Duke. Like, holy shit, I got to turn my shit up a little bit, like, because this is what I'm around, right? And that's because I think you're a product of your environment a lot. I think, and I don't care what nobody say. If you're in a bad environment, you become a product of it. If you're in a good environment, you can kind of grow from that with it. What I was about to say now, good man. But on another note, all right, I always like to get people to ask me a question before we hop off. Boom, you first.
Did you think I was gonna pick an academic focused school when you were training me?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I started get to know you a little bit because, I mean, shit, we was around each other a lot shit for a while. Like, damn, just going through a lot. And I never forget, and you probably don't remember, I never forget you text me and you was like, D. John, I got a test to do, but I still need to come work out. I still need to study, so I'm trying to figure it out. So I think we just switched the time up to make it work. But they'll say, know what? She's very serious about her academics. And it wasn't your mom and dad. You know, I tell people, you know, most of the athletes I train are kind of serious. And I very seldom talk to their parent. Only time I talk to your parent, your mom, was when the time to pay. That was it. She would text me, hey, how much I owe you? But besides that, you know, your dad never, you know, called and blah, blah, blah. Your mom never. It was she just asked me when it's time to pay. That was it. So I knew you was driven. And then when you told me, when you was like, I don't know, you was kind of stressed. You like, I got practice, tests, blah, 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 but I still want to work out. And we made it work. And I'm like, know what? This girl is focused. You know, she's not just an athlete. Because most, you know, probably more football guys, they just try to, I'll be all right, we go work out. I ain't really worried about that. But, you know, on the girls side of it, I feel like girls are way mature than guys early on. Just because I've been around a lot. But yeah, I figured that, you know, and then once you start figuring out the schools, I'm like, know what? It's a good fit for you. Especially, you know, we used to talk a lot. That's why I tell people, if I'm just training you and I'm not never talking about your future, your academics, your goals, then I'm not doing my job. And we used to always talk about, I don't know if you remember that, like what you want to do in life, what's your plan, what you want to major in, because you got to know, like you can just go to school and wing it, but that's not a good idea because then you just lost and wasting time. But when you got an idea what you want to do when you get there, it makes everything go fast. Cause I was one of those guys. I went to school. I'm like, shit. I'm trying to play pro football. I don't know what I want to major in. Do they got pro football major in shit? No. All right. I gotta take classes. Then I figured it out. You know, and I'm like, okay, boom. But when you know already, it's go like that quick. I mean, your 5 years probably. I mean, shit. Damn, you went 5 years. Holy crap. Flew by like that. But
yeah, it was fast. It was pretty sad to leave. That track team was probably one of the best track teams I've ever been on. The coaches, the way like they cultivate that same environment that my parents had is what sold me when I went on my visit. And just like my pole vault coach, she's amazing. Mm-hmm. Jocelyn Sparks, she's one of the best female coaches I've ever had. So, but yeah, she's been amazing and she's been super impactful to like where my life has gone and whatnot. So yeah, I love. So your
experience was great there.
I loved mine. If you're a girl pole vaulter and having a girl coach, it's no hate to having a guy coach, but like there's just some things that a girl pole vault coach just understands rather than a guy. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like all of our practices were they were very mindful and like we knew what we were going in and we were gonna get the job done. So we had like a list of stuff and then like I don't know, it's just very like our practice was very organized. Mentally organized.
That's interesting. Because when you there 4 or 5 years, you gotta like it.
they're very efficient. We went in, we knew what we needed to do, and then we got it done.
Huh, nice there, nice. Come on, Greg, I know you got something for me.
Well, was being a coach something that you always envisioned when you were younger?
Huh, that's a good question right there. I always had it in the back of my head that I wanted to do it. So my goal was, like, if football or whatever didn't work, I was gonna go back to my high school and coach and give back. Cause I grew up in the inner city. We didn't have nothing. So I'm like, we don't got nothing. So I want to do that. And I did that. So when football didn't work, I was like, you know what? What's my next move? And I never forget, I went back to my old high school and talked to my head coach. And I was like, he was Coach Ray Seals. And he like a serious dude, like don't play, very well known. And I'm like, Coach, man, I think I want to coach. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I think I want to. So he told me how to get into the school district, blah, blah, blah. He got a lot of pull. Go fill this out, fill this. Once you get in the system, you got a job here, right? He's like, I'm telling the principal, hire you. Just how much pull he had. That's why I tell people it's about who you know, not what you know. So boom, next week I'm working. So I'm like, okay, cool. So but working in a high school environment, I'm like, holy shit, damn, this is tough. Especially in an area like Madison in the inner city, a lot of kids got a lot of problems at home. A lot of them are single parent homes. Multiple brothers and sisters, so they're going through a lot. So, but when I got there, at the time I was staying with my grandmother too. So I'm in a school right around the corner from where my grandmother lives. So when I first started working, I didn't have a car. So I used to walk to work. So as kids go to school, I used to be walking to work. Then I eventually made some money and got me a car. But man, coaching there was like, I coached there for 8 years actually. And that was probably one of the best joys in my life right there, doing that, giving back. And man, and that's when I learned my work ethic from him. Cause we had to be there, coaches had to be there at 6 a.m. every day, even on Sunday. No, Sunday we had to be there at 8, watching film, and you had to stay after school with the kids. So football practice over with, the workouts, you gotta, and by me being the youngest coach on the staff, I had to stay. Before the last football kid leaves, you got to be there till their parents get there. So I was basically at work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day for 8 years. Sundays, watching film after games. So, it was tough, but it taught me work ethic though. And that's one thing I look back on that I'm glad I accomplished. If I don't accomplish nothing else in my life, I'm like, I went back there, I gave back, and it bring me a sense of joy. And I still get shit now. A lot of those kids are grown with family. They're like, Coach, can you train my son? I'm like, holy shit. I'm old as dirt. I train you. Now your kid like 15 now? Holy crap, boy, I coach you. So that's kind of cool, man. So I say, as y'all grow up, just make sure you have the things in your bucket list you want to accomplish, you do it. Because you're young. I did that and I was very young and I accomplished it, right? Now I'm moving on, and I started my own business, blah, blah, blah. And I'm, helping her try to be successful in her next journey. And my oldest daughter is a nurse, so she's out of my hair, so she's pretty successful too. Now I got to get Quinn, got to get her going, because I always say I used to train everybody else's kid, and then I got to do my own, right? So I'm like, now I got to put time in my own. So I try to make sure that, a lot of things I do, I work around her schedule so I can be there, which is cool. You got anything you want to ask him, Quinn? One thing?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, hey, y'all, this is D-Junk signing off for the Sports Resort with the Kowalski sisters over here. Look at these girls. They is ripped. Look at these muscles right here. These girls do squats and push-ups every day, man. My daughter Quinn signing off from the Sports Resort. Peace.